welcome to another week of the Everyday Witch readings. I hope you're really enjoying them. Yeah, another week with Pegasus and the Witch. What have we got in store? So this is for the week of the 17th to the 21st. For those of you that are new to the channel, it's Monday to Friday, and I do some bonus weekend readings as well, romance sort of readings. So, let's get real. Let's go and do our Everyday Witch readings. Welcome to Thursday's Everyday Witch. And today I'm going to do a couple of things a little bit different. Before I do that, I'm going to actually light my incense stick. I've lit my candle. Let's light my incense stick, which I'm going to put over there by my plant. It's a nice bit of smell for us to start the reading off. Right, I'm going to actually pop this down here in my plant, which makes life just slightly easier. Okie doke. Oh, that's nice. It's a little bit chilly in here today. This weather, I just sat outside earlier playing with Scylla, and I thought, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for summer. And I just thought, wow, it's not that far away, but it's far enough away. Okay, so we've got that lit. Let us begin. Oh, also, I've decided that in my 2022 astrology readings that I did for everybody this year, I did some channeled messages for each sign. And I've decided that I'm going to, well, not in all of the dailies, but I'm going to be doing a little channeled message before I start your readings. So I thought I would do this. And I just noticed my post-it note. I've got written on there. Yeah, 0 fucks given. That's what my post-it note says. Which, to be honest with you, is pretty much how I do like to live my life. And that's not to say that, oh gosh, I don't give a damn. Not at all. Quite the opposite. But I think there's a lot of time wasted on worrying about this, worrying about that. And I'm just bored of it, to be honest. So I tend to not spend too much time worrying and stressing out about certain things that I can't control. Okay, so today's message, it's a bit of an odd one, really. Well, it's not an odd one. I mean, when we talk about it, I suppose it makes sense. Basically, they gave me this idea of the word stop, and they showed me this big stop sign. And then they showed me a sign that said breathe. And it actually made me physically go and take a deep breath. So I think this is a message about everybody's life, perhaps this kind of idea of things being so fast and so much to do and balancing and juggling and all this sort of stuff. But for somebody out there, or for maybe all of you, it's this idea that we need to stop and just take some time to breathe. Okay, and that was not the end of the message. They then showed me, there was a film that came out a few years ago called Breathe. And this film was, I think it was Andrew Garfield that was in it, and it was about this famous guy, I can't remember his first name, so I think it's something Cavendish, because I always think of Cavendish House. Anyway, it's something, and this guy was basically paralysed by polio from a very young age, in his 20s. And they showed me that for somebody, there's this idea that somebody feels like they're stuck, or they feel literally, this film was about somebody paralysed, but it wasn't just that, it was groundbreaking, because I think there's go and have a look at the film. It's actually, I haven't seen the film, but it is on my list to see. And in one point there's like this part where Andrew Garfield as the character says, I don't want to just survive, I want to truly live. And his partner and him, they they're groundbreaking, literally. People that had paralysed disabilities and that back in those days just didn't live outside of a hospital. And so he then spent his whole life within this position and then dedicated his life, I guess, to helping other people in the same situation, so that people didn't feel like they just had to be stuck and paralysed in this idea that, you know, because of their disability they couldn't have a life anymore. So this message is a very long message, but it's about this idea of believing that we don't come into this world just to survive. So for somebody out there, that's going to make a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense for most of us, to be honest, because we shouldn't just be surviving in our lives, should we? We should be truly living. So that's the theme of today's reading. Okay, so can we have an empowerment card to give us and spur us on and give us some motivation today? Be you, do you, and for you. Yes. So I'll put that one there actually, because I'm going to put Archangel Michael on this little stand. Yeah, it's all about us being within our own personal power, and that message was about not feeling stuck. Or, you know, sometimes it's easy to say be you, do you, and for you, but quite often we don't, do we? Because we spend a lot of our time living for our families, or from whatever else, you know. And I think it's just having the time. Okay, so we've got the card of energy healing work. It just threw itself onto the floor. Yeah, so this is really interesting that we've got this energy healing work, especially when I was just talking about this idea of being paralysed or having some sort of disability. So perhaps there's something in your life that you feel is holding you back, stopping you. And our motivation card says be you, do you, and for you. So I think we need to explore a little bit more. Why am I shuffling that? Because I'm not even using that card. We need to explore a little bit more about this energy healing work and who you are and what it is, listener, that you want to heal. You know, I work as a healer actually. I don't just read these cards. I work as a spiritual healer. So I have different clients and we work through blockages, and this can be under like physical constraints, or this can be these mental blockages, and quite often one will affect the other. Okay, so we have the Strength card. It's like we're really following this narrative. Sorry everybody, this is my phone. Let me pop that on silent. It's like we're following this narrative this week. Similar cards seem to be following each other, and we've now got the Strength card, the card of Leo. And has somebody out there just recently had a diagnosis? Has somebody received news to do with their health? Sorry, that one's just switched over. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups in reverse and the Death card. So, do not be fearful that I've just mentioned a diagnosis, but for some this will quite literally be the case. With the Death card here, that's not to say that this is the energy of somebody's going to die, but it could be that somebody is watching this and they are seriously ill. If that's the case, I am really sorry to hear that, but these things, you know, are people's realities. It's you know, quite often as readers and that, I always want to keep high vibe and I want to talk about positive things for people, but these are the realities of life, and there are people out there going through these types of things with either their families or within themselves that involve their health. Okay, please tell us a little bit more about this health issue. Three of Cups in reverse feels like this news might have been something that's happened recently. So if this is your news or family members, it's been within the last, say, 3 weeks. Or maybe 3 months. And it feels like Feels like a feminine energy, but that doesn't mean it has to be a woman or only women watching this. It could be within the feminine energy. It could be the mother. I've now got the Empress card in reverse. And this also denotes health for me as well, because when the Empress is in the upright position, she is healthy, flourishing, vibrant. In this reverse position underneath the Strength card, it feels like if you're watching this and you know that this reading is for you, it feels like you are going to need some energy healing work. And that might not necessarily be that you see a professional or a spiritual person or even Reiki or whatever energy healing means to you, because it can mean lots of different things. It can mean acceptance. And underneath the stress, of course, this will be very stressful, without a doubt, my dear ones. Like what you must be going through. It's a really tough energy, and it's this energy of needing or feeling that you need to be strong for everybody else. Okay, Archangel Michael is saying you can't always be strong for somebody else. And if this is your mother or this is you as a mother figure, this can mean that you can't, you're not in a position to be that person of strength for everybody that you would normally be. We look to our parents and to these roles for our own strength. But as we get older, we realise, that our parents, we're just people. We're just human beings. And to be going through this with your health at the moment, it's very scary for you, it's very scary for your loved ones, but they're asking you to have strength. Again, this could be, we've got a Leo on the board. This is Scorpionic energy within the Death card. The Cups card, the Three of Cups, is water energies, so these are Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios. These are females in the picture, but this could be males. Could just be the vibe. The energy balance, but it feels like a lot of sorrow. And with the Death card, I'm Scorpio myself, and it's all about transformation. And with any sort of ill health of somebody or being incapacitated with certain things and changes in your life, it's like the Death card is saying, this is a new time, this is going to be a new phase in your life, and roles and responsibilities and things like that are going to change. You're being guided to have this healing, and this could just be something you do that gives you joy or gives you a release. This could be meditation. This could be Reiki for some of you. This could be healing, the sort of healing that I do, which helps stabilise, it helps remove blockages, and it helps communication flow. That's ultimately what spiritual healing looks to do, in order to free somebody up so that they can be more open to moving forward in a healthy way. And when I say a healthy way, it might be that that's an odd thing to say given everything I've just mentioned. But actually, we sometimes need to have our mind in a healthy place. For some of you, this won't be a great illness or a diagnosis, but it could be that you're worried about your health, or you've not been looking after yourself and you're not flourishing. And there's this call and this need for you to wake up and stop and breathe, which was the channeled message from Spirit. Wow, this is a heavy reading today. Okay, so I'm going to read Archangel's healing prayer. Thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me, for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. Wow, so this is a message for one of you in specific. Maybe you're watching this and you are going to decide to have a healing session, or you feel like it's time for you to face something in order for you to be in a better place. I'm sending so much love to the specifics of who this person can be, because as an intuitive reader myself and a healer, I can feel that this is a very tough energy. It's very harsh, and it feels like very definitive for this person. And it's like, while this is going on, what do I do next? What do I say next? How do I behave next? This is an era now that I never envisaged myself to be experiencing. Okay, for those of you, this could be, so we have the Ten of Swords, and it says everything is fine. So for some of you, this is something that you're going to be able to heal and you're going to be able to work through. But it's very upsetting and very traumatic. There is also this this card within the context of what I'm reading can also mean that somebody out there is self-diagnosing, and we all know what happens when we have concerns or worries, and then we get on Google and we bring up all manner of diagnosis. This girl on this modern deck, my modern witch deck, has a mobile phone in her hand, and it's like she's reading stuff and searching stuff that is really not helpful. It says everything is fine underneath, because the message there is that that person is decided, and because of fear, that fear puts us in a negative mindset sometimes, and we have to catch ourselves while we're doing it and say, well, hold on a minute, that's actually not my truth, is it? That might be what I'm thinking, but that's actually not my truth. So the message is then the Eight of Cups. This is a water sign, and this is saying we need to move away from this energy. You need to move away from this negative mindset, or you need to move away from any mindset that you thought was your past was based upon, because it feels like with eights are moving towards a more healthy place. And it has this death card above it, and this death card, as I was saying earlier, this is about death and rebirth. And sometimes rebirth can be giving birth to this new lifestyle, this new healthier lifestyle. Are you eating well? Are you drinking too much with these Eight of Cups? Are you taking in too much social media? Are you showing addictions? Online gambling, all these things that can be very, very negative. Okay, so then we have Pegasus there. Pegasus on the death card as well. But we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So it feels like the right communication is not being put into motion. It feels like somebody somewhere is worried or concerned, or knows they need to change something up, and they're just not doing anything about it. In this upright position, this would be this knight boldly, swiftly moving forward. In reverse, it's like this person's just doing nothing. They're doing nothing about whatever this unhealthy behaviour is that's actually causing them some problems. And that's based in fear. So again, this is something else where energy healing work might be good for you to look at your fears. Sorry, there's too many there for me to even think about taking. Somebody is in their fears and they are finding answers to questions that have no truth in them. I'm feeling very, very confused. Okay, so again, this is more air energy. Now, air is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And as a reader, these swords are all about mindsets, headspace. Where is your thinking? What I would say about all of this is your first card out with the energy healing card and then this strength card. This is like, for me, the direction. the guidance of which you're getting from this tarot reading. Look, tarot reading, people out there that watch readings and say, this is how I live my life, or what do I do if this happens and that happens, and so on and so forth. Well, the truth is, tarot is not there to live your life. No, be you, do you, for you. It's you that lives your life. It's you that makes your decisions. Tarot is a beautiful gift and exciting narrative that offers up intuition, and it offers up guidance that, you know, ultimately is communicated through different people, different readers like myself. And, you know, sometimes there is a knowledge of tarot. We know that certain astrological signs fall under certain things, and we know what the energies are, but quite often we are telling a very individual story for each reading, because it's the energy we're reading. Somebody very close to me recently said, well, you know, I've got a question to ask. How, as a reader, how do you know that you're not reading about you? And how do you know that your energy is not on, and the messages aren't, you know, to do with your life, your family, your feelings, this sort of thing? And the truth is, as a collective, we all hold fundamental energies, because we're all living in this world which we're affected by cycles, like when I talk about the moon phases and the planets and this sort of thing. So there is a collective energy, and we are to some degree fundamentally affected by similar aspects. However, we then have this ability to perceive a message in the way that we were meant to, you know, on the right time, the right day. What I give out in this reading today, lots of different people might be on the end of this reading and gain something very different from what I say, and the universe will have meant for that to happen. And there I go. I talk about the universe, and then the judgment card comes out, which is this idea of the gods, the heavens. I've got the Lovers card next to it as well. You see how we've both got these two angelic angels, these big red wings. Beautiful artwork on these cards. So let's look at the Lovers. This is card of Gemini. So this is the card of, it can be love. So perhaps everything I've been saying so far is about somebody you can see playing that out that you love, and you're having to watch from the sidelines at them, whatever this potentially destructive behaviour is, or patterns, or how they've not communicated and freeing themselves so that they can live in a much more healthy, successful manner. But ultimately, so this could be your partner, a loved one, but ultimately this could be somebody in the element of Gemini, or this could be a choice. Often I, as a reader, see the Gemini Lovers card as like a crossroads, like an impasse, a place of decision. So it's like, but it feels like this is divinely guided. So it feels like you are divinely guided. Archangel Michael is here in this reading. And actually, it's the first time I've ever done that, but there's another 3 angels I invited into our reading today. I invited Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raziel, and Archangel Uriel into the reading. And you might want to go away and look up those angels, because there might be a message in that for you. I want you to go and have a look at who they are, what they're about, what their essential energies are, and what terms of guidance they're there for you. You might find something interesting in there. But then we have this card of Judgment. So this Judgment card is very heavily Scorpionic energy again. But it's this idea of an awakening. So, and because I'm holding this up with this Lovers card, it feels like this is very linked. So this awakening has these, again, this is under the same row as the Death card. These people that seem to be rising up from their coffins. So we have this idea that this is, for me, I read it, that this is the past, the present and the future. And this epiphany, an understanding of where we've been, where we are and where we want to go in our lives. And I'm reading this is the Lovers card in this deck is quite dark here, and then it then goes on to the Judgment card, which is quite bright and sunshine and blue skies, and it's like the clouds are clearing. So I feel like this is a message for you guys today to say that the heavens are clearing. They're moving the fog away so that you can actually have some clarity, make some choices, and move forward on your divinely guided path.